Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Starladder America playoffs. We've made it after some fun tiebreaker action into the juicy bit of things. I'm GoDz, joining me is KOTLguy.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Nice and early. Allergies hit me early and hard, but they seem to be phasing right now,
Okay.
so hopefully I'm not going to be too much of a snotty mess. But I'm excited. We got a long day of America Dota action, and we're going to start off with the playoff match of Root Gaming taking on eHug.
Yeah, so we've got Root vs. eHug followed by Leviathans vs. Fire. And what this schedule does not show is that we will be doing the first loser bracket match as well. So the two losers will be facing off. Whoever loses that will be knocked out of the playoffs. I think we have a little grid we can show you guys as well here.
The fancy overlays.
And, yeah, fancy overlays. Starladder production value.
So the number one seed is taking on the lowest seed. Root Gaming barely scathed themselves into the playoffs. We saw yesterday, myself and Zyori, after Root could not beat Leviathan. They got knocked down, then they had to take on Complexity, and they managed to beat Complexity 2-0, and where Complexity were the favorites. Root Gaming, a squad that has not been the same roster really since Summit, the Summit 2. They've been bringing in these two stand-ins frequently and actually have had a lot of success. Today they have a new stand-in. They have Yawar back, who's been doing a fantastic job as their core carry, but we're also going to be getting Trouf in addition to Sumail. I didn't see Sumail there at first, but I actually have 3 stand-ins today for Root Gaming.
New day, new stand-ins, I guess. Like this is something here. We don't actually have team names on our draft screen, but I mean, having rosters here for Root Gaming would probably not be very accurate.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I mean, they've been rolling. So what that means is, and I'm actually going to have to consolidate my note system here. We do have your boy JC back. He's been like the notorious head, or been around the Root Gaming block for some time now, and it looks like he is taking the captain's chair. Chicken MC, of course, is back, the rambunctious young one who's been playing frequently as both their mid laner and recently been playing as the off lane.
Okay.
They've been letting Sumail in the off lane. He played a beastly Storm Spirit yesterday. The kid's only 15 years old apparently, but he is a prodigy. He's got a lot of individual talent. He's an up-and-comer from the NEL scene, and people like Arteezy have been saying keep your eyes out for Sumail and both Yawar. And, well, we know Trouf. Looks like Trouf is going to be coming in and standing in for Joik. Joik is missing today. That's what it is.
And Trouf, a bit of a Starladder America / NA Dota regular. We saw him on some teams during the group stage of this season and last season. Teams that didn't last all too long. He's been hopping around. He's been dabbled in casting with ACs well over in the D2L. He's a jack of all trades.
Absolutely. I enjoy the guy. He's got a great singing voice as well.
Okay.
Overall, really classy guy. And on eHug's side, obviously eHug formed their new roster taking on, they did a tournament where they put all the rambunctious NA Dota players together, and they're like, the winner comes out with a sponsor. And, pretty much Infinity Stack, that had started out in Summit 2 as Infinity Stack, had pretty good success. I don't believe they made it into the playoffs, but they were like right there, like the position number 5, and had to like just etch their way. And now they've gone undefeated in the group stages here for Starladder, though they've also still have hot and cold success as of recent.
They were initially not in the tournament too. They replaced
that's
TG.
right.
Yeah, I remember looking on the Wikipedia page, and it was like eHug asterisk. I'm like, what's this asterisk for? Because they're 7-0. It's like they replaced EG. I'm like, shit, this team almost wasn't in, and suddenly they're 7-0.
That's right. They had become eHug near the back end of the Summit 2, and the period of registration, I guess, was just really close, and they were asking about getting in, and then they were denied. But fortunately, because of the dropout, they got to sneak on in there, and I'm sure glad they did, because they deserve it. They've made their way to the playoffs, and now they're going to have the challenge of Root Gaming right now before them. And I guess without further ado, we should actually talk about the draft at hand here. It looks like Root Gaming are going to open up with their Tidehunter Witch Doctor, Team eHug. They grab Vengeful Spirit, who's been a very, very popular support pick for them, Vengeful and Omni Knight, and they follow it through with the Brewmaster. So because they don't have the first pick, I'd imagine that's why they put priority ban on the Omni Knight. A lot of these teams have been loving Omni Knight.
Yeah, and we're going to see some, I guess, change in drafting styles. Like yesterday, did you see, like with the new 6.83 patch, do you feel teams were really mixing things up a bit, or was it just small little tweaks?
It felt like they were trying out some things. Maybe we'd see like a Night Stalker in the mid lane here, and obviously with Leviathan, they were all about the Pudge and his new changes more so than they loved to play Pudge before. But it's seeming more like the standard. Like you would think, like, oh, no one would play like Faceless Void Witch Doctor anymore, but they tried it out, and it had moderate success. Tidehunter, even though he's been hit really hard with the nerf hammer. You got to consider not only was his own ravage damage nerfed down a bit and his movement speed, the ancient stacking so much harder because of the 15% aura if you happen to get a golem. And the refresher orb was also nerfed a bit,
Yes.
10 more seconds. So all of that affects someone like Tidehunter, but he still does his job well. He's still got a ravage, and he could still have 2 of them. So it's great team fight and great setup.
Yeah, maybe you have to wait a bit longer between team fights before you have that next double ravage, whatever it may be. But Beastmaster, here received a ton of changes. Hawks, boas, everything about him, like the scaling of all these different little animals of his is just being tweaked for days. I mean,
We did see Beastmaster yesterday.
Okay.
It was from Complexity Gaming. Moon Meander picked it up. He tried to roll with a support jungling kind of Beastmaster, and he was going for the ancient stacks. And he was on Radiant side, but already I think they are actually going against Root Gaming. They caught on to it. They immediately dewarded or warded up the ancient stack. Moon was stuck going elsewhere, and it just really didn't reach a lot of success. And the hype we were all building up because of this draft. I mean, look at that. You get a boar and a hawk right off the bat, so you're a fantastic zookeeper already. The boar has better attack damage, so your CS in lane can be a lot better. And the slow is already very good. If you put an Orb of Venom on the guy, then you have some like 20% slow at the start of the game.
Yeah.
There's potential. And, of course, with his ultimate, it goes through any sort of BKB holder, so...
He's super tanky because a lot of the emphasis has been on controlling the runes. Teams always talk about, like, when they're here at the summit, how Ogre Magi is such a good hero because of how he dominant he is around the runes. He's tanky, he's got 7 armor. You can't bully him away. He's the one keeping people away. And I feel like Beastmaster could do a similar thing. He's got really good base stats. Doesn't have the same 7 base armor. I think he's got, like, 4, 5 armor? Maybe it's only 3. He's not the highest base armor, but he's good stats, and he's pretty tanky, can contest those runes. And if he's got a boar, that's additional firepower at a rune.
Yeah.
You're getting slowed down. You go for a rune, you get hit by that slope, suddenly you may be dead.
Yeah, there's got to be something special, more about this hero. I mean, I was nerding out hard over the patch when it came out. I watched a lot of the videos with everyone analyzing in their own perspective, and I believe it was Owie when Beastmaster rolled around. He got real excited over it, and in fact didn't even want to put out all the information, as if he's like, I have unique ideas with this hero that I don't even want to indulge the audience with. I want to make sure we preserve some stuff for our team. So we might be seeing more Beastmaster in the future in the competitive scene. That's what I got the impression of. But Gyrocopter, now going to be brought up here from Team eHug, along with that Elder Titan grab. So huge wave clearing spread of damage right there.
Yeah, Gyro getting a few buffs as well. Still kind of fills the same niche as far as being played as a carry role. Like, none of the changes actually... I guess the extra AoE on his cooldown maybe makes him slightly more of an early team fighter if he wants to TP to a fight or there's a fight around him. But as far as carry and item progression goes, as a carry Gyrocopter, it's more or less the same thing. And that looks like what we're going to see here from eHug. They've got the Elder Titan Vengeful Spirit as their support duo. Probably the Brewmaster mid. And Root Gaming reply with an Ember Spirit, which... as far as the mid matchup goes, not a hero who's... nothing really beats a Brewmaster too well in the mid lane unless you're going like the Viper route, which nobody likes to see. No one wants to see a Viper these days. So
no way.
We'll see what Root Gaming have in mind here. I'm curious also to see, I mean, we mentioned all these stand-ins. Who's going to be like handling the core roles? Who's going to be on the supports? And how these kind of, like bringing someone in like Trouf and...
I mean, Trouf had played... He played everything on his old team when he was in Summit too, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, I'll just take over for Joik as a support. They'll keep Sumail on the mid lane, and then Yawar will still play his core role in the side lane. But yeah, I guess you're right, because then Chicken MC could be in a bit of a weird situation. I mean, but as most of these teams go, they like to flop the roles around a bit. You can do the same thing for eHug side. Both Infinity and SN have swapped between mid and core positions. And of course, Sna himself, support, Lust support, and MJW is probably the only one that's like, I'm always off lane. But hey, GoDz, this Gyrocopter, how do you I mean, who says it has to be a core? What if it's the off-lane Elder Titan and a support Gyrocopter with a Force Staff to force the homing missile?
It's a cute little trick. It's definitely like that surprise insta-stun kind of thing. It's definitely it's got a really
really silly. I tried it out. It was funny.
I think the one actual application where it's important is canceling TPs, because currently you homing missile and people just TP. If they're like, oh crap, I'm being ganked, and your only stun is homing missile, it doesn't stop your TP because it takes so long to reach you. But the Force Staff can maybe change that. That's the one kind of big kind of, I'd say, competitive slash like ranked matchmaking kind of application to it.
He did receive some other small buffs though that do benefit him a lot. His ultimate, the call down AoE, has been increased from 450 to 600. That is a big AoE spread. And they tweaked around the slow a bit, so the second cooldown would be activating the support. So you get more out of your slow time with that second cooldown. So even if he's just kept as a core, we're going to see a lot more potent potential out of him. And they're going to finish out their draft with a Juggernaut. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the offlaner that we were anticipating for MJW, or if there's going to be more swapping around here. Elder Titan offlane support Juggernaut, possibly. He was changed a bit, and I think for the better. You know, his crit went up a little bit from 15 to 20%, so there's much more value in getting that 1 point right there. Some people consider it probably one of the best, if not the best, crits in the early game. I mean, you're getting double damage 20% of the time. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you have to be getting those right clicks off, and most of your damage as a melee here is normally you need to set up a stun, which you've kind of got. You've got the Vengeful Spirit, and you may be able to get that value crit point as opposed to going for what normally has been the Jug build and focus on the. I guess you go one crit and then just get your Healing Ward, because Healing Ward is such a good spell. Root Gaming, though, they say no fun today. It's the anti-mage for Yoar.
The anti-fun.
And no big intel heroes. Like, this is not a good game for a Mana Void by any means, but they value the split push here, and there's not really good lockdown to kind of, I guess, handle the anti-mage split push. This is not a good game for anti-mage to try man up and fight. The Juggernaut's got a ton of physical damage with the Omni Slash. You've got Elder Titan to basically negate anti-mage's armor. This hero is being picked up largely just for his split push potential here, which doesn't seem to have any good answers.
That's pretty much the playstyle that Yoar likes to play. We've seen him on the Medusa. We've seen him on the Morph. He is just going to put himself in that lane to the point that you forget he even exists in the game. And the next thing you know, you look over and the guy's damn near critical mass, and he's going to be putting the team on his back. So I imagine that's more so the game plan for the Root Squad. eHug, you know, a formidable team. I imagine they've done their bit of research. They probably even watched a lot of the games yesterday. And we'll see what they decide to do coming into this matchup, knowing what Root Gaming strategy may be.
Oh, and they've got some cool little lanes happening as well. I'm going to introduce them quickly because eHug are going to be putting Brewmaster in the off lane for MJW, and mid lane Gyrocopter for SN. This is something different. It's been kind of, I'd say, experimented with, and definitely some something I've seen a bit of here and there, especially in like some pub games, but even NEL, it's kind of showing up here or there, but it definitely is not really, it falls off, especially if you go this max homing missile build, but with the new changes, could be quite a strong mid laner. The rest of eHug will have Snar playing the support, Elder Titan boots first for him, Lust on the Vengeful Spirit, and it leaves Infinity on a farming Juggernaut.
And on your Dire side, we got Root for Root. I am Groot Gaming right now. It's going to be Chicken MC here scouting out the bottom rune on his Tidehunter. He's going to be playing in that off lane, mid lane right now. We have Trouf. They're going to be rolling with what looks like the support Beastmaster. He's heading there to back him up right now, and I'll keep my camera focused here because now they're going to go ahead and lay out some fisticuffs. Ward's going to be spopped. It's going to be a bounty rune. Elder Titan's going to be picking that one up, and they want to punish him. They even got the boar out with the slow putts. Oh my god, the gush. So much slow happening right off the bat right here. Snot could end up going down. Can they get another lick in? The boar's too far away. Gush has got one more second, but not enough mana quite yet. They need about 15 more. They want it bad. Chicken MC, he's clariting up. They're going so deep. They get the gush there. Sna, he's desperate. He's going to the tower. Can they get it? Oh, Trout, he's hungry. He got it. My God.
What a chase.
Sweet, delicious taste when you know you worked for it. And Trout, the newest stand-in to Root Squad, has already earned his worth with that. Good luck, have fun, says Trout. What a player. What a player.
Pulls out the PPD move and everything. That was really cool, too, because Trouf actually gave the clarity to Chicken MC. Chicken MC had no clarity, and Trouf was like, I got you, buddy. We need another gush to get this kill. Pulled him his clarity, and they get the kill off of it. That was just a sweet chase. And you talked about the level 1 Beastmaster, boots first. He plays, it's kind of like the new Ogre almost.
Yeah.
He's so tanky, so good around those runes, and you go for a rune, you get hit by the Quillbore slow, you're dead.
That was just great. What a way to lead things off, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Starladder Season 11 America Playoffs. Mid lane, I'll continue our introduction. Sumail, the young prodigy, he's going to be playing your Ember Spirit, looking to control the mid game and force everyone to stay away from the anti-mage. Top lane, it's going to be your boy JC, playing that Witch Doctor, supporting, babysitting, keeping MJW distracted. Trouf makes his return up here, and finally, Yawar is going to be playing the core anti-mage.
All right, so both teams going with a kind of standard defensive trailing setup. They're looking to get their support some early levels, some early farm. Double pulls happening from the Root side with their pulls, and same thing from the eHug side. So probably not going to see too much action here unless offlaners kind of overstep their boundaries, but look for some kind of contests over every 2-minute rune, and that's exactly what's happening now, both top and bottom lane. Bit of a battle for these runes going on. Tralf is just going to try block the right click, and actually gets it by just positioning himself over on top of it. Meanwhile, bottom lane haste rune to the Elder Titan.
I gotta tell you, Ice Frog did a great thing adding both of the runes. It's created so much action, and I think with the recent tweak at the start of the game, both of them being bounties beautiful, you remove that random factor leading in, but you get that action still. And Sumail, he gets hit on the noggin with a nice homing missile, and it does so much damage. Is he leveling it up? Yeah. He's got 2 levels in homing missile. This is the zone factor right now. The last time I saw this so effective was Secret taking on, I forgot who they're going against, but it was going against a Weaver top lane. He maxed homing missile, and Weaver just could not stand in the lane. It was too much damage too often.
Yep. Well, you do run into mana problems very quickly, and that's where he's going to have the bottle coming out ASAP. I wouldn't even mind seeing like a clarity with this, because if he's spamming this, you're going to have mana problems, and he's not going to get a rune for another minute or so, but we'll have at least enough to keep on zoning Sumail to some extent, but with the level 2 Flame Guard, he does have a decent amount of magic resist. Doesn't even break the Flame Guard with that homing missile. Yeah, so now the Flame Guard needs to come out more defensively, but he uses it now. He actually goes towards SN. Woo, he eats a lot of damage right there. A bit scary, but doesn't finish it off. And this is where you can dominate the first 5 to 6 minutes of the lane with this build on Gyrocopter, but you do fall off a bit. So we have to see if he scales into a carry items or more kind of utility items, get something like drums, whatever it may be. The 4-staff you kind of joked about, but it's legitimate possibility here with the new Gyrocopter change.
Tralf now taking himself to the jungle here. Look at 2 boars now at the ready for your Beastmaster. I'm interested to see how he's going to look to utilize them. There's just a lot of potential. You can stack out your jungle with these creeps easily, go to mid lane like he is now, and just add a bit of extra harassment. The similar you'd see a Chendu with a Harpy. So lots of potential there. High ceiling. Top lane, a bit of a trade right here. MJW going to throw out the clap on Yawar, but he's going to step back now. Very, very low on mana. He's just trying his best to stay in the mix as far as XP. He's only got 4 and 1 CS, but halfway through level 3.
Yeah, now the stack's going to attempt to come out. Root, we're going to miss a stack here with the Tide of the Ancients. Beastmaster also gone back to base. He has Bottle already. It's pretty impressive that he's level 3 at the same time, but it looks like he's going for more ganking and rune control with the move towards the bottom lane rather than focusing on stacking and maybe looking to farm using his wild axes.
You're going to see, not his best day. He's trying his best to be in the mix for XP, but he doesn't get that stack, and the first group is golems, so whatever he stacks up is going to be that much harder to take down as well. So it's tough stuff, but he's getting help right now. Here comes Tralf. He's going to scout him out with the bird. Lust is going to pop out like, what the hell? And now he's going to be forced to pull out the wave, and for now, it's just going to be a bit of a trade, but Tralf showing up, it's going to allow Chicken MC to feel a little bit more comfortable.
I don't think Tralf can get too much done, though. I think he is better off in the jungle doing some stacks here just to help himself farm. Stack the Ancients is nice, not what he's going to do from the high ground, so throws out the axes to get that going. But he could have been stacking the normal camps, which he can farm a lot more efficiently. Have the Tide stack the Ancients, so I think he thought maybe they could find a kill bottom lane. Problem was, Elder Titan had a DD rune. It's a tri-lane with a Juggernaut. Juggernaut, one of the best early fighting carries as well, so there's no way you want to fight into a Phase Boots Juggernaut with Blade Fury. And mind you, in the recent patch, Juggernaut got a nice little agility buff. I think it was like 6 or 7 agility, which adds a whole armor as well as all that additional damage. So Jug that much more important early game. But look at this mid lane, your first call down, going to be coming a slamming right now, and they're trying to go for Sumail, but Tralf shows up, throws out the Tomahawks. Not going to be enough to take down SN. Sumail now retreating back and will be able to walk away. SN getting very fortunate there. 7 HP he survives on and didn't have the damage. Like Flame Guard just negating the homing missile and everything about that. Even with the Elder Titan there, all he had was a Echo Stomp, so he was more used defensively rather than help get the kill. Does force out a nice couple of rotations right there at the expense of just Tralf having to walk around like he's been doing, so that is beneficial for Root. Sumail has needed it. He's been pressured by that missile so much, so he would be happy to get a little bit extra farm in that mid lane. New runes are going to spawn. It's going to be Illusion at top lane for Sumail, and Tralf is going to bottle up a sweet little bounty rune at the bottom. So Root not only getting the first blood a while ago on the Beastmaster, but now getting complete control. They get both runes at this stage of the game, and that was a gank started by eHug that went really bad for them. eHug were lucky not to lose the Gyrocopter, so I think looking at it from that point of view, Root are looking really comfortable. They've got the Anti-Mage free farming at the top lane. Tide top CS with the Juggernaut. Juggernaut, by the way, has 35 freaking denies.
Jesus
Christ. End of the day, whether you're 43-0 or 43-35, doesn't really make much of a difference, I would say.
He has such a great attack animation, plus phase boots, plus that agility bonus.
Yeah.
CSing is no joke right now, especially when you're going against a melee hero like Tide. No. Who cares about your anchor smash, buddy?
Oh, Gyrocopter this time does get the kill, pairing up with Snar. So Ember Spirit goes down, the cooldown use, and that short cooldown just makes it so spammable.
If they get a nice time sleep right there when the creeps are down, it doesn't take a whole lot to just barrage and burst down any isolated opponent. So Sumail, though, is going to be able to jump back with that Remnant at no expense of a TP, which should be good for him. But top lane, they are considering an engagement here. Lust hiding in the wings.
Maybe waiting for the level 6 Brewmaster is probably what's going on here. Bottom lane Juggernaut's going to Blade Fury away. Not sure what the cause was for that, but he's level 6 as well, so definitely look out for an Omni Slash. And that's where eHug, it was not the best start for them, but when they get Omni Slash, when they get Primal Split, things can quickly turn in their favor, and definitely keep an eye on this top lane, because that looks to be where something's about to happen with Primal Split now coming online.
And I've been keeping my eye out here as well. Yawar was making it hard, getting a couple of denies there. As MJW, you can tell he's so thirsty to get that split.
Yeah.
Now he has, and here we go. Lust turns the corner, is going to be coming in behind. Your boy JC going to get stunned, and now Brew bulldozes forward, and they're going to quickly clean out the support. Yawar's like, I'm out of here. I don't want anything to do with this. He just blinks to safety.
Yeah. I don't think they need to use the split there. If you're going for the Venge, they're going for the Witch Doctor, you don't need to use the split. I thought they were trying to maybe bait out an Anti-Mage blink and then go for the Anti-Mage. Like, get the stun after the blink, but not the best use of your first Brewmaster ultimate when you could have just walked up and clapped maybe, but still a kill.
Yeah. Still a kill, and you got a quota to meet. When you got your split, you need to get a kill right away.
All right.
It's going to be a DD bottom, guarded out by Trout. Sumail's going to be able to sweep on down and pick it on up, take it back to mid lane, and continue to farm up. He right now is 34-6 in comparison to Gyro, who's 36-11. Mind you, he did bully Gyro out of the lane at one point, but as he returns, he's already going to be eating a rocket to the face here. That rocket now level 4. And without having Flame Guard up, it would eat away about a quarter of his life. Still big damage.
TP down bottom, and they're going to look to make something happen here. This Tide could be in a lot of trouble. Going to go for the Blade Fury, not the Omni Slash, and hope to get the kill using that Blade Fury damage. It's going to be close.
Wow.
Drum charge and everything. He may just need to Omni Slash this one. It's going to be close. It's going to go for the right clicks, and that's actually enough. So Jug gets the kill. He's gone. Now he gets the first point in the Blade Dance at level 8, so gets that value crit point. And that's a nice little kill.
Frankie, Infinity Juggernaut right now, very farmed, very slow at this point. Such quick drums, he already puts him to strong use there, gets the kill, and now is uncontested farm at the bottom of the lane. I'm curious to see if he's going to blitz forward into getting a Agnum Scepter, or where he's looking to build up his Juggernaut. Do you think there's going to be any sort of better impact? I mean, you got some really elusive heroes here on Root Gaming. I mean, Ember Spirit with the Remnant, AM Blink, and I don't know. Do you put a lot of impact there on getting the ultimate? Oh, mid lane, SN, maybe trying to bait in forward Ember, but Ember is going to make the quick jump back, and another time that SN is going to be very low on resources getting away.
Yeah, I think Ember knew. Oh, well, actually, the homing missile still finds him, so he gets.
BS wants it. Oh.
Thought about it. If he'd started running forward earlier, maybe could have, but didn't actually know. And Infinity's probably looking at another kill bottom lane.
That sleep setup with spin is very, very nice. He's got so much move speed.
There's that crit too.
Only need that 1 point, baby. 200% critical damage, 20% of the time, and his base damage is up to 100. That's pretty ridiculous.
Topper in a bit of a fight going on here. Your boy JC wants to save it for, well, trying to save it for the Ember Spirit, but the homing missile will keep Ember Spirit away. And be a bit careful here, this Ember Spirit. He's going to probably look to just TP home, refill his bottle, and then come back here. Last is going to be able to cancel the swap.
Oh, no. Very nicely done. He's got nowhere to go. He's trying to get the missile, but it doesn't matter. Gyro runs him down with just a simple flat cannon.
Yep. That Observer Ward, giving the uphill vision that was needed for the swap. And
very nice.
Well played by eHug to get that punch. I think even without the vision, Venge could have just walked to the high ground and had enough time to cancel it anyways. So a bit cocky coming out from the Ember Spirit.
You never know. Maybe Sumail would have seen him, done a quick sleight of fist dodge.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, absolutely, that ward is great. So and it catches out the high vision on the other side, and as Chicken MC makes his return to the bottom lane, he does have Ravage, but yet to even really use it. He's looking at a lane where these guys have beaten the hell out of me in this lane, and there's really not much more defense I could bring here. So their tier 1 now is in jeopardy. They're going to pull out, nope, no more glyphs, so that's a free tower also going to Infinity. This Jug, man, he is going to be out of control.
Yeah, he's level 9. He's going in for the Omni Slash. It looks like that is a dead Tide Hunter.
No! Damn!
What you gonna do? Phase drums? You can't run away from him.
Jesus Christ.
Infinity Dota taking down Chicken MC, the first of his name, and Sumail at mid still having a rough time against the constant homing missile harass. He's 0-2. One of the deaths definitely avoidable. And SN7 is having a great time just going to keep on pummeling away at him.
Uh-oh. There are going to be the chains. Immediate rotation coming. And he actually is going to throw himself into the call down. Luckily, though, that flame guard being up is going to save him. But MJW, who does show up first on the scene, is going to be right there to help out. And SN is going to walk away with the kill. Killing spree right now for your gyrocopter.
Yeah. This gyro is doing work here. Also going for the drums here. So the fast drum on the jug, the gyrocopter prioritizing all this extra movement speed and just cost-effective stats. +9 to all stats. Much cheaper than saying like an ultimate orb, and you get the active that is the drum charges, which is... They're doing work. Infinity's getting kill after kill. Gyrocopter, similar story, so... eHug looking really good in game 1, and Brewmaster's already got his Blink Dagger up, so... This offlane Brewmaster can do a lot in these upcoming fights, even with minimal farm.
Yep. Trout shows up to the mid lane. He probably sees that blink, and he doesn't want to get too close, so they might have to sacrifice his tier 1 tower, or at least get some help on the way, which it looks like a rotation's coming in right now. Trout, fantastic start in being able to set up that first blood, but I haven't seen much from the Brew thus far. Still trying to get his level 6 so we can get that sweet, sweet Primal Roar action, but it might be a little bit longer here. Can they get the quick deny? Nope. It's going to be taken down. Gyro's going to get that one. Long ball cask is going to be too far for them to engage on MJW. Now they turn their sights onto S7, who grabs up the bounty rune. There's going to be the chains here. Step back, call down. Big AoE spread. It's going to force Chicken MC back, who's now going to get stuck with MJW while Sumail tries to isolate SN here. But remaining here towards the Tidehunter, they're going to push on forward here. MJW pulls out the split, but here comes spinning and winning. Infinity cleans up another, dominating for him. Now turns towards your boy JC, and he should go down double kill for Frankie Infinity on this Juggernaut. He is just cleaning house. 9-2 for eHug.
And Ember Spirit does chase down and kill the Gyrocopter, ends his streak, but that's just the smallest of victories there. Tide, he's had Ravage in these fights, but he's never had a good opportunity. The Brewmaster jumps in, pops the ultimate, and there's nothing to Ravage then. He just dies to the Brewmaster Bears, and all while this is going on, Root have managed to get a Battle Fear in their anti-mage. So at some point you're saying, okay, we're creating space. That good old adage, we can create space for the Fork Protect 1 kind of anti-mage here, but you're falling really far behind.
Yes.
And this is just going to be a tough game for anti-mage, I feel.
I mean, they're already playing with Yawar, who has a very quiet farming PvE kind of play style, and then Trouf, who's been spending a bit of me time up to this point. So you got two heroes that have been pretty much off the radar altogether, and Root's kind of stuck with the last three to try to make it work. But now they're going to go. Snog going to get hit up with that first big Primal Roar, and that's more than enough to quickly take down the support Elder Titan. Now, Yawar is able to pick up the last hit, so it does work out a lot, but they're going to need a lot more of those.
Yeah. Trouf is going to be one of the big tempo controllers. Him, combined with the Tide, have to just keep getting pickoffs. I don't think Tide needs to go for these big 3 to 5 man Ravages. Using Ravages to kill one core hero, like a Gyrocopter or Brewmaster, is well worth it, because you've got an anti-mage, you've got that big late game carry.
Yeah.
It's not even about him carrying the late game, because he's not going to out-carry a Jug Elder Titan kind of combo with the Gyrocopter there, but it's all about getting him to that level where he can split push and have nothing really counter him. Nothing really. He gets a Manta style, he can dodge the Venge stuns, which is really the only good lockdown eHug have. So I can see Anti-Mage just split pushing his harder and not really having a good counter.
Yeah. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that right now. Visiting the mid lane, had been top pretty much the majority of this point. Bottom lane, Infinity, who continues to have uncontested farm, going for the Aghanim's, having the point booster, but he had already stopped off with a Yasha along the way just to show that this boy is rich. Infinity, man.
Yep.
This Jug is going to be a serious problem. Next thing you know, he's going to pop out. He's got level 2 Omni Slash to work with, but he could have a lot more along the way if given this time to farm. That Aghanim's is going to come pretty damn fast.
Well, eHug look to be trying to take objectives now. They're going to move up top lane with 4 heroes. Keep Juggernaut bottom, but he can always look to TP in, and he's got so much solo kill potential. He doesn't mind being off on his own, doing his thing. Tide, meanwhile, still trying to farm up any sort of an item here. Still has a bit of a ways to go for the Blink Dagger and struggling to clear out these Ancients. So, by no means an easy game for any kind of a turnaround for Root.
Or been dancing in the mid lane, but the top will be taken down. eHug grabbed that one easily for themselves, and the Gyro SN is able to pick up that last hit. He's going right for that BKB with Ogre Club already in hand here. Mind you, going against a Beastmaster, you could always still get locked down from that Primal Roar, but it's nice to have someone like Infinity by your side who can come in and kind of slash away, prevent them from being able to kind of focus fire their Gyrocopter.
Nice little observer in this bottom lane has been spotting out all of Infinity's movements. So they know he's not at top with his team. So if Root want to try and take a fight, it's a potential 5v4 opportunity, but when you're this far behind on items and you've got fighting with an anti-mage, it's not really necessarily 5v4. Not to mention Tide is not in fighting shape right now, so he's got to heal up before any sort of engagement.
Still needs to get that Blink Dagger. Top lane, they're looking to put up a relative defense here. Oh, the Primal Roar going to catch on MJW, but he gets swapped back and saved. Call down to zone them back at war. Lots of damage because he blinked in. He can't get away. He's done. He goes down. Sumail follows shortly thereafter. Your boy JC going to be joining as it's going to be a killing spree for MJW, cleaning out a nice double kill for himself. They take down 3 all day at only the expense of their vengeful spirit, and now objective after they're going to get this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, and Infinity took down a tier 2 on his own. He wasn't even at that fight. That's the kind of 5v4 I was talking about where Root just aren't going to win the fight. It was actually more a 4v4 because Tide was not ready to fight. He was still healing up when the Beastmaster Roar engaged, and I think Root just got they're like, okay, this is our opportunity. There's no Juggernaut, and he's their most farmed hero, but realistically, you had no chance that fight. The swap was fantastic, but you've got to expect that swap when you engage in. You've got to be able to either time your burst damage or at least be able to chase down, and they have no chase potential really with this line of players.
Well, eHug, I haven't seen much of them play here in Starladder group stages, but sporting a 7-0 record, it seems to be that they have just been performing that well. The last time these two teams met in the Starladder series was the 14th, where both SN, Shadow Fiend 7-1, and MJW with a 7-0 Void. They definitely have Root Gaming's number in this one. So we'll see if this is going to be the eHug to expect as they progress through Starladder. Right now, though, Infinity grabs up a nice DD rune here in the bottom, but mid lane, it's Root Gaming trying to push themselves out, and a desperate Tidehunter trying to get his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, everything about what Root are doing right now is just desperation. Yasha picked up for the Antimage. He's keeping up on farm, but he's still behind the Juggernaut, and really, your Antimage needs to be #1 on net worth and constantly pushing lanes. The fact he hasn't brought down a tower yet is a bit of a worry. Not to say he's had any opportunities to do so. I don't feel like he has, but Yawara now going to finally go for his first tower. Cancels just an Echo Stomp with his Mana Void and looking to escape.
Oh, man. Hi, how you doing? My name's Frankie. I see you're trying to blink over here, but I got an Omni Slash waiting for you. Unbelievable. With that DD as well. No chance.
Hold down a mid lane. It looks like they want to try and find some additional kills here. The homing missile is going to chase Sumail.
Infinity was just bottom.
Yeah, he's everywhere, man. He's got the Acceptor now, too. Flying on the Kree. He's going to get Raw, but he got the Blade Fury off. This is going to be a tough kill, and that's not a kill they're actually getting. Maybe with a Rabbit. Man. Wild Axis. Infinity will go down.
Bounty. They do pick it up, but man, they have to sweat for it. That's a good couple of ultimates. 3 ultimates all day just to take down Infinity. And his big, 6-0 streak. They pick up an extra 550 gold and a nice little chunk of change in XP overall from that one. But, you know, still, just goes to show Infinity is just that much farther ahead, and he's going to really be a headache, even just to bring down by his lonesome. Imagine when eHug plays a full 5-man squad.
Yeah, that was brutal, so we'll see where eHug look to go next. I think they can probably look to get map control, maybe pick up a gem, get control of the Roshan pit. Pretty easy to kill Roshan when you've got the healing ward on your side. You've got a Juggernaut with an Aghanim Scepter now, BKB Gyrocopter. There's not really any way Root want to contest a Roshan fight. And for now, it's going to be a 3-man smoke gang from eHug, looking to probably just find a little pick-off here with this. Hard to kill an Anti-Mage, but not impossible by any means. They've got the Howl swap, so if he blinks out, you can howl after him and then swap him back in.
Yeah, they'll just spread and cover ground wherever he may blink to. Lead things off with Panda, bait out a blink back. And that's where you see Lust is trying to catch him out.
Yeah, it's so hard. The Elder Titan is there, ready with the Echo Storm. We'll get another blink off to the side, so he will escape. That was well played by Anti-Mage. A lot of people would panic there and blink back down the lane, but when you're getting ganked, you have to blink the only direction you know it's safe, and that's the trees right below you, so a lot of Anti-Mages there would have made the wrong call with that blink.
Sumail now back in his mid lane, trying to throw together the Battle Fury. He's got the Perseverance, and it looks like he might have spent some gold. Nope, that's his Perseverance recently just coming together. And now they add a little bit of this oomph towards the mid lane. Yeah, they've been a bit lackluster in the objective department, only taking down that 1 tower on bottom lane, and they would love to get some more here. Sumail could be in trouble, though. Going to throw out the Sleight of Fist chain to lock down MJW, and he'll just head the other way.
Yeah. His Vlad's pickup is going to just increase the damage potential and just overall menacing capabilities of eHug's teamfight right now. They've got so much output of damage. They've got such survivability as well. All these heroes with good escapes, BKBs, Blade Fury, Brewmaster with the ultimate, the swap saves that... What are you going to do if you're Root? You can't actually engage into this. Maybe you go for that counter push and try to take a tower elsewhere, but this could actually be a high ground siege coming down the mid lane.
And luckily, Chicken MC does have his Blink Dagger now, so if they want to put together a pretty big team fight, this is their best chance to make something happen. But I got to tell you from firsthand experience, from what I've seen from Root even yesterday, a team that always seems to fall behind at the start of the game. I've seen them go down 0-7, but they always find a way to come back. The comeback kids, if you will. But this is probably the most significant lead I've seen from their opponents out of eHug right now and Infinity's Juggernaut. Now moving into the Roche Pit with lots of room to work with. This is going to be an easy and quick takedown.
Yeah. The numbers are not too intimidating. It's only a 2,500 XP lead and about a 5,000-6,000 gold lead. So by no means, like, we've seen far bigger comebacks, like 10, 15k gold comebacks. So the numbers suggest they're still in it. It's just your late game, I feel, is still in the favor of eHug. That's the really big worry. They do lack a bit of lockdown for dealing with Anti-Mage and Ember Spirit, but for Root, they haven't got the best late game damage potential unless Ember Spirit really kicks in. Anti-Mage alone just doesn't match up well.
You can see UR's playstyle already coming in. He's getting that split push happening right now. Adds a bit of pressure, and when he sees any sort of threat, he'll just leave. He knows that he's pulled a couple of the eHug members away from that mid lane towards himself, and that's a job well done by him. He does have not the highest net worth, but highest CS, and by a reasonable margin here. He's pushing towards 200 CS already. Bottom lane, though, there's going to be Trout throwing out the Primal Roll, trying to get Infinity, but he's eating a lot of damage here. Sleight of Fist is going to come out. He throws out the Omni Slash, which will get soaked up by the neutrals a bit. Now going for the spin. Your boy JC, though, getting locked down. MJW looking to spin it home right now, and MJW does get that kill. Now moving forward here, Chicken MC, he is nursing the Ravage for now. Long Boulder Lock going to be happening. Infinity happy to go aggressive here, healing up with the ward. He still has that Aegis as well. Sumail jumps to the other side, going for the TP. Can he get out? He cannot. He's going to get slapped down right there. MJW, another double kill for himself. They clean up two and push down this bottom lane.
I thought they threw so many spells on the Juggernaut that I think they just had to Ravage kill him. Chicken MC's like, it's not worth the Ravage. He does have Aegis, so end of the day, you throw all your ultimates just for an Aegis, but you'd already throw in Brewmaster ultimate, Witch Doctor ultimate, all these other spells. At that point, you just got to kill him. Even if you lose the fight afterwards, at least you killed him and burn the Aegis. End result, you die, you don't even burn the Aegis, so... I think from Chicken MC's point of view, it's like, it's not worth using 3 ultimates for an Aegis, but when you've used 2 already, you just got to commit that third. Even if it's not a good... Even if it was a bad idea from the get-go, you got to just commit to the plan. And now here comes the high ground siege.
Yeah.
I guess he's still got the Ravage. That's the good news.
Still got the Ravage to work with, and he might need to use it here. Sumail's going to be up in about 2 more seconds, and you are still trying to split push. He cut the creeps in the mid lane, and it did force eHug to go from the south wing, it looks like. Now jumping into the base, MJW is trying to get a quick kill on your boy JC. Can you take him down in time? That heal earn, not going to be enough. They throw out the stun. They lock down the bear. Can they burst him down in time? They can. Call down going to be dropped as they try to run out, but that Ravage is going to try to hold them in their place. As said now, pops his BKB, is going to throw out a huge wave of Rocket Barrage and rip down the Tidehunter. Chicken MC will drop that 3 for 1 as they focus down the racks, and that's going to be more than enough. Anti-Mage is not going to get the time he wants to farm up, and eHug show dominance here in game number 1 of this best of 3, going 18-7.
Yeah, convincing stuff, and you can see why they went undefeated in the group stage. That was just an all-around good performance, great individual plays across the map, good support rotations, and they didn't just stick together as 5 and group up and check those fights, but they were much more efficient than that. Like, they had Frankie constantly in the bottom lane doing his thing, creating space for the rest of the team, who were then kind of like a 4-man unit pushing down towers. And even though Frankie, Juggernaut's not your big late game carry, it was just this nice split pressure all around the map that there was no real answer for, unless Root were throwing 3-4 ultimates to kill off the Juggernaut, and then they're losing the ensuing fights.
Very well done. MVP, I'd have to say, is Infinity on that Jug bottom lane. I really like the unique draft style. Maybe something that Root weren't even prepared for, that mid lane gyro, and then having the Brew go to the off lane and the Jug on the safe lane. It was a bit unusual. It seemed a bit greedy at first, but hey, they made it work. They had just so much damage coming in, and they just clean up Root. But it's not over yet. Root Gaming get to fight back here. Game number 2 of this best of 3 series at the start of the America playoffs happening right now.